Hey guys, how are you doing tonight? So, somebody sent me a video. So I'm hopping on, doing our little daily live thing. We're doing pretty good at this. And I really wanted to start digging into some of the things that are surrounding what we're doing in the Blueprint Live. It's like the pre-stuff kind of. What we're doing in Blueprint Live, and one of the most important thing, the 3 phases to starting a boutique, which is really the whole premise that my entire course is based around. Hey Dorothy, what's up? So let me share this out into my group so they can uh, get the info that they need. I'm laughing because that message that I just got was a really cute video from my friend of her baby, toddler mom. And so, um, and that's why we're on a little bit late tonight. I don't know if you guys saw the video. Toddler mom. Today the toddler is up and about and doing his thing. So let me share this in two of my groups, and then I will be off and ready and set. While I'm joining, make sure you guys, while I'm doing this, make sure you guys also share it with your people and let them know that we're about to get really deep into boutiquing. And I promise you, whether your boutique is up and running, or if you are whether your boutique is already up and running or if you're just getting started, you're going to recognize some of the things that either you haven't done, or maybe you didn't do enough of. If you read the comment, I did say 1.5. So there's a good chance that you've done some of it, but there's some pieces that are missing. So we're going to talk a lot about that. Let me share it with my live group. Now I got 2 groups, guys. So, and if you don't know what I'm talking about when I'm talking about the Blueprint Live, which is the second group I got to share in, the Blueprint Live is in 2 weeks, 2 weekends from now, I am going to be doing my signature course, which is Build an Online Boutique Blueprint Live. And I'm sharing it with everyone who registers for free. So all you have to do is register and you will get to see me do the Blueprint Live. Sounds like a Jay-Z concert, right? But it's not a Jay-Z concert. Although it's going to be dope, I promise you. Not a Jay-Z concert, but we are going to be going through every single step, every module. I mean, this is literally the course that I sell for $500. My $500 signature course that I sell, going through all the steps that you need to start a boutique. So I'm going to start my Periscope too. So I see a couple of people joining. Hey Latoya, hey Jessica, how are you guys doing? Make sure you share this out. For those who are just joining, for those who don't know who I am Akila Thompkins-Robinson. I am the owner of this page here, Online Boutique Source, and what I do is help women who want to start and grow their online retail business, and a few men too. So I'm not biased, but I do a lot of mostly dealing with clothing, accessories, soaps, home goods, things that we like. So that's what I do. I help everyone who wants to get started. And right now we're talking about the get started phase. I was just telling everyone that in 2 weeks from now, August 18th, I am giving away my signature course, which is my Build an Online Boutique Blueprint course. And I am giving it away for free. So if you guys go to onlineboutiquesource.com/Blueprint Live, you will be able to get access to see me giving away this course for free. I'm literally giving it away. I'm going to let everybody watch me tape the next installment. So I'm doing the Blueprint 2.0. Live. I've had the course since 2015. So now I'm doing like a huge overall updates and everything for the course. So definitely, like I said, invite your friends, invite your family, invite everyone, share. Make sure folks get this out there because, people don't normally give away full courses for free. And now I am. So I want as many people to take advantage as possible. So what we're talking about tonight, the 3 phases to starting a boutique, are the 3 phases that my course is actually based around. The course is normally a 12-week course. You get a module a week, and it's broken up into 3 to 4 week sessions. We have 2 break weeks. 3 to 4 week sessions going through the 3 phases that I'm going to share with you guys tonight. And ironically, the actual recordings are going to be the same thing. It's going to be each of the phases. Now, a lot of people will say, oh, I only need to do marketing. I only need to do the build. I only need to do one thing, and they skip the other parts. And that's where I see a lot of problems. So the first phase that people skip, and I'm going to put the link in here for you guys if you have not registered yet. I always say I need to like have this pre-typed. Y'all know I don't do pre-typing. I barely do creating notes. Blueprint Live. So onlineboutiquestores.com/blueprint live for you guys. All right, hope it works because yesterday I messed up. Oh, and I did it again today. Man, listen. I messed up my address again. Same exact mistake too. Forgot to say. So let's talk about the first phase. And I'm getting nice and comfy for you here. Grab an extra pillow. Get nice and comfy for you guys. And if you have questions as I'm talking about this, drop them in. The questions help me. They help you. They help everyone who's watching this broadcast. So let's talk about the first phase. The first phase is the research phase. And the research phase is where most people skip or they just don't do enough. And it's funny because today, you guys know I look in a whole bunch of Facebook groups and stuff. I talk about that almost every other day. And today, 2 separate groups, 2 separate occasions, both of them have the same root to the problem. One person, it's funny because her website looked like she knew who her target audience was and she was really, really good at it. And then you went to her Facebook page and it just fell flat and it was trash. I hate to say trash, but it fell real flat. And then the other person, I never even looked at his stuff, but based on what he told me his problem was, I was like, yeah, you don't know your people. You're not talking to the right people. And that's a big part of the research phase. The research phase is, knowing who your customer is, knowing how they talk, knowing what their triggers are. That was another thing. Everything she had on her site was on sale, which we're going to be talking about that. I already got that on my list for lives. So make sure you guys are following me. We're doing this every day. Did I tell you guys that? We're doing lives every day. And on my list of lives is to talk bad about why we should not have sales all the time. So she had sales. She had lots of things on sale in her on her site. And the first thing I peeped is that your people probably aren't triggered by the sale. And if you guys watch my video series last month, you know about the triggers. And you know that money is not always the trigger. It's actually usually one of the lowest triggers for most people because, if it was all about money, then we wouldn't be shopping for new clothes. Kind of makes sense just a little bit, right, guys? So that was what I saw. And both of those led me to know that person really didn't do a good amount of research. Thank you, Violet. That person didn't do a lot of research about their market. That person didn't do a lot of research about their brand, about what drives people to buy their products, about, what's going to entice people on their sites, all this research that we do. So we do, like I said, it's broken up into chunks of weeks. So we do 3 to 4 weeks of just various types of research and researching different aspects of the business. So you don't spend the whole time doing your target market. Believe me, we do that in 1 week and it's done. But we don't spend the whole time doing just one type of research, but there's different things that you need to research. There's different things that you need to have written down in your notebook before you even look at what website you're going to build on, or before you look at what products you're going to order. You absolutely should not be ordering products if you have not done enough real targeted research on your people and what they want to buy. Because a lot of us, and that's going into my next thing, a lot of us want to buy and want to sell what we like. And one or two things: either we don't know other people who like it enough, so then when we're trying to sell to who we think likes it, they don't want to buy it, or maybe no one else really is as into it as you are, and that's hard for people to hear. And you'll hear me say this a lot, but sometimes you got to take yourself out of being you and, into being a business and being a product. I always tell people the example, because you guys know I'm a mall girl. And if you don't know, I'm a mall girl. I look at my Periscope folks because I know you guys don't see me that often. But, I'm a mall girl. And if you go and look at the lineage for just about every major store in the mall, the Nordstroms, the Macy's, the Expresses, all those stores, none of them were founded by women. None of them were founded by women. Most of them were founded by men. Most of them were founded by older men. Most of them are even still run by men. Like, it's not women. So what that tells me is that if your client does not, your customer does not have to be you. Your client, your customer does not have to be just the person who you think it is. It does not have to be what you think in your head. And it also tells me that if you're able to just research and find your person and find that niche, that you're going to do really, really well, because, hey, all these people are doing really, really well. And I can tell you, I can almost see good brands, which we'll be talking about Monique seeing one of her lives too. I can see good brands and I can see exactly who their person is. Like I told you guys the example of the one site, I could see who her person was on her site, but I didn't see who it was on her social media, which is kind of weird, but it happens. So first thing we do is research, making sure we know all the ins and outs, you know, what the person's going to buy at, what's going to really be kind of their I'll do it price, or the, oh no, maybe I can't do it price. All that type of research that needs to happen when you're building your boutique. That's all in phase one. And that's when I say 1.5, that's the one that gets skipped. Nobody does enough research, I promise you. The next phase of starting your boutique, and like I said, if you guys have questions, because I'm going through this whole thing, if you guys have questions, drop them in, you know, let me know. If don't forget to share so that other people can grab this too. And if you want to know what I'm talking about the 3 phases to starting your boutique, and I'm going to be going over all these phases and every single module that's within them next week. Well, the weekend after next, during when I do the Blueprint Live. If you go to onlineboutiquestores.com/Blueprint Live and register. So if you're not registered, get registered. Get friends registered. It's a group, so like they'll be talking, and you know, we'll be interacting in there, and you know, it's something you can do. I won't say with the whole family, but with your boutiquing family, you can do, you'll be able to do the live with. That's why I did it as a group, because I wanted to be super interactive. And I know I've got some of my members, my vault members and other group members in here, and you guys know I like to talk. I like to make it interactive. I like, you know, everybody to have a really cool understanding of everything that we're doing. So that's why it's a group, and that's why we're doing it this way. So going into the phase 2. So the phase 2 is the building phase. And a lot of people spend a huge chunk of time in building phase. Huge chunk of time in building phase. And I'm going to tell you, and it's funny because most people think that I would be so stuck on build your site, because I'm a retired web designer. I'm not so much, and that's partially why I'm a retired web designer, because I learned over the years of doing designs, doing my own designs, doing, hey Veronica, yes, you're finally catching me live. I know my times are off with yours all the time. Don't think I've done enough research, really all over. Where should the research be done? Social media, just okay. So that's one of the things. So okay, so Jessica, I didn't read the whole question. She said, I don't think I've done enough research. I'm really all over. Where should most research be done? Social media or just searching the net? So funny, you should be searching all over. There's different ways and places that we search for different pieces of information. So like when I'm doing target market, I'm looking on Facebook, I'm looking on Pinterest. When I'm doing you know, what's a person's lifestyle like? I'm looking on the internet. I'm doing things like Pew Research and stuff like that. Those are some of the things that we're going to go through when we talk about those research models. Because there's different things you want to research too. You're not just, like I said, you're not just doing my target market. You're doing pricing research. You're doing trending research. You're doing target market research. You're doing competitor research. You are doing a shit ton of research, you know. So it's not just go to Facebook and be done with it. And that's what a lot of people do. A lot of people go to Facebook, be done with it. A lot of people go to GoDaddy and look for their name, and they're like, yo, I'm done. I'm good. And there's a little bit more to it than that. There's a lot more to it than that. And those are the things that we're going to talk about in that module. So make sure you're there Friday. Friday's when we're going to be talking about the first phase, which is all about the research and getting together the data and the information that we need to support what we're going to do in our boutiques. Then the next phase, which I was getting into, is the building phase. So the building phase of your boutique is not just your website, and I stress that over and over and over again. It's not just building your website. It also, and that's what I was talking about, is not the part where you should spend the most time on your building, because the fact of the matter is, and especially with this whole good wide world of the internet, is that even if you build your website and it's perfect and whatever, two things are going to happen. A, you're going to get tired of it and you're going to want to do something different. Or B, times are going to change, which means other people are going to get tired of it and they're going to want to do something different. So especially in the very beginning, when you're not quite sure of your people, you're not quite sure what's going to work, you're not quite sure, and of course your budget is not quite, I no longer believe in spending a whole bunch of time or a whole bunch of money in building websites. There's a book called The Lean Startup, or if you've ever read the book The $100 Workweek, which I love, not $100 Startup by Chris Gillabub, I think is his last name. I have a picture with him too. So both of those books talk about getting started with what's considered your least viable product, meaning it's got just enough of everything you need to make it happen. I see people, and be mad now, guys, I'm about to call some folks out. I see people on logos for 2-3 months. Because you guys know I do the goals in the big group. I ask people, what's your goal? What's your goal? I see when your goal is still your logo, like for 2-3 months. Or you're being held up by the designer who's doing your logo for like 2-3 months. I'm going to tell you that, and I have a whole nother scope on this. I've never bought a product because of the logo. Never once have I said, oh, that's a cute logo. Let me go get that dress. Nah, not really. Have any of you guys bought a product because of the logo? Let me know. Let me know if I'm wrong. If anybody's buying products on logos. So I say that to say, I'm not saying you should not have a cute logo. I'm not saying that you should not spend, make sure your website is up to date and make sure it's nice and stuff like that. What I'm saying is don't let those things stop you. There's a lot of ways to get really nice, affordable websites up and running. You can always change. One of the reasons why I preach and love WordPress, because WordPress is like having a person to get dressed. You build WordPress sites, and the lovely thing about WordPress sites is that you can easily put on a new theme, put on a new update, put on a new dress on your WordPress site. So, if you don't like this or you don't like that, or once you get to the point where you can hire a designer or hire a web guy, web girl, you can easily change these things. That's why I look for platforms that you can easily change. And WordPress is one of them, which is why I really like WordPress. But you should not spend forever on these things, especially if you aren't started, because I promise you, once you start, you're going to want to change them again. It's just the evolution of business. Look at every major corporation and their evolution of logos. They've gone, through the gamut of logos. And again, there's places to get logos for not too bad pricing. I know people hate Fiverr, but I'm going to say if you need a logo in 24 hours, you can get one. Somebody just mentioned in the group Canva. Canva is another place where you could do just a simple text logo, so you can have something just to get your business up and running, put in the colors that you want, and then while you're working with your designer, get something up there. I just don't believe that people should be letting it stop them, and it absolutely is. So we talk about that in the build phase and all the things, and there's I'm actually going to build a website with you guys, because for those who are in the course, you know that my Taking the Woo Out of WooCommerce course, and for my Vault members, you guys will love this. I paid to have my logo done at Fiverr and found an app will make mine better. See, Veronica? And that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm not going to say keep it forever, but it's sure going to get you started, and it's sure going to get you going, and it's sure going to get you where you need to be. It's going to get you making money, so then you can just hire somebody and not even have to worry about it. You want to make the money. We got to get to the making money part. Logos do not make money, I promise you. And this is from, again, someone who used to do these, used to get paid for these. They don't make money. They look great. They make you feel great. They give you a better polish, but they don't actually make the money. The actual selling of the product does. So that's what you want to focus on. So what was I saying? So, building the website, I always lose track myself. So until you guys know, if you have seen me live and you're thinking, she always loses track, how's she going to do a full course? For the course, the way I'm doing it is that I'm not going to have the chat right in front of me while I'm doing the course. I stay on target, and I'm going to have I have slides and stuff. So it's real official in the course. So I was talking about taking the woo out of WooCommerce. So in the course, there is a mini course called Taking the Woo Out of WooCommerce. And this is where I walk you through setting up a WooCommerce website. Well, with this going live, so when I'm doing the Blueprint Live, and make sure you guys, I still don't know if I typed the link right up there. So I'm going to type the link again down here. If you're not registered already, trying to make sure I got it right. Let's hope I got it right. Somebody tell me if I got my links right. So go to onlineboutiquesuccess.com/blueprint live. I don't see the preview, so I think I messed it up again. But either way, in the course, there's the Taking the Woo Out of WooCommerce. I am going to be redoing Taking the Woo Out of WooCommerce on Saturday. So I'm going to be building a website in WordPress. And I can tell you guys, it takes me probably, I'm going to say less than an hour. Excuse me. Less than an hour to put up a basic site. And I'm going to make it very basic, and I'm going to make it very similar to my own website, which is colormefiner.com. And I'm going to show you guys exactly what I used to do it, exactly the theme that I used to do it, how I made my little really quick graphics that are on there. I'm going to show you guys how to build the website on Saturday. So that's going to be not only thing I'm doing on Saturday, but on Saturday we're going to be talking a lot about the building phase. Now the building phase, like I said, the 1.5, a lot of people, that's the one. They spend a lot of time on building. The other thing is they don't build everything. I'm trying to think of the best way to say this. So building is more than just your website. Building is, you got to get up on all the platforms. You want to get all your images right. You want to get your logo together. You want to get your product photos, all of those things that also go into it. You want to talk about what's the content that's on your site. I have a whole content workbook that you get with the course that we'll be talking about during the live. I have a whole content workbook just really telling people these are the things that your pages should say. Like, you should have this about page. You should have this policy. This is what your product description should look like. You should have this. So all these things and pieces, and my battery's dying. Hold on, guys. Let me plug up my phone here. Oh, I got a new customer while I was talking. So that's always good. You get a Stripe notification as you're talking. And especially as you're talking and not even selling anything, which is really cool. So, we're going to go through all of those different pieces, everything that you need to build. So everything that goes into your website, everything that's going to be like around your website. So think of it like the landscaping that's going to get people to your website. We're going to talk about all of that stuff in the building process. And most people do really well with the building. I'm not going to lie. Like, the building usually gets done. What I do see is they don't do the landscaping. That's one thing that I always see. They don't put a lot of good stuff in there sometimes. The furnishing, like one of the people I talked to today, the product descriptions was like, and then, nobody can buy from you if they don't really know what they're getting because your product descriptions are so small. So, okay, I had to make sure my Periscope was still working. So that's what we're going to be talking about that second phase of making sure that you have built a really solid business, really solid website, really solid business, really solid content around your business. And then the last phase we're going to talk about is your marketing and launch. And so that's the half. So that's the half when I talk about the 1.5, because people get out there and they start marketing. I don't even really know, as someone who does marketing, I don't know if I would always call it marketing, but they start sharing their stuff. Okay, so they start sharing their stuff, but they don't have a plan around it. They don't understand all of the different platforms. So, you want to know and understand all the platforms, because no, you really should not do what you do on Pinterest, on Facebook, and on Instagram. Like, you don't do them all the same. Choosing your platforms. There's nothing, and absolutely nothing, that says you got to be on all of these. The reason why they call them Instagram boutiques, and they talk about, people who've made so much money being on Instagram, is because they did nothing but Instagram, and they drilled down Instagram, and that's how they made their money. Since you want to try WooCommerce for the first time, should you get started before Friday night's tutorial? I would not. If you've never done it, wait until you see it, take good notes, and then afterwards, so block out another hour of your time after we get off and start building. Because everything you can do right then and there. I would maybe purchase my hosting. That's the only thing you're going to need to do, is purchase your hosting. And if you guys want to know, I recommend, and I'll put a link in the group, but I know you're already in there. I recommend .5 and Blue Hosting. But yeah, so if you've never seen it, you're going to confuse the heck out of yourself. I would just wait. Or if you want to do a trial run, and then that way you have questions, it depends on how you want to learn. I don't get frustrated easily with IT, so I would play with it and then have my questions. Most people do get frustrated, and I tell them to wait. Just wait till you see somebody do it. Because in my mind, it's like super simple, but I know not everybody thinks like that. So I understand that, and I'm trying to help you prepare for that. So getting into the marketing. So marketing, and I say marketing and launch, because when I used to just say marketing, people used to be like, I got this. I can share on Facebook. And they just didn't have their launch part set up. So when you're launching a new business, or when you're launching really anything, and you guys, I mean, if you've been following me for a while, I know a lot of folks on here have, which I appreciate. Thanks, guys. You've seen me launch stuff. You just saw me launch the vault last month, or month before last. Month before last I did the vault. You're seeing me launch this. Like, you've seen me launch stuff, and if nothing else, I hope you see that it's not always the same thing over and over. Okay, that would be you, Violet. See, I know there's people, both sides of the coin. Don't worry. So when I'm launching stuff, you'll see that it's not always the same thing. It's always a well thought out kind of structured plan thing that goes along, and it's not just like throwing it out there and what does somebody say, throwing spaghetti on the wall and hoping it sticks. You want to be really, really calculated about how you're marketing your business, how you're launching when you first launch, how you're launching when you're doing a sale. Like, that's a launch. Everything you do in your business, and that's one of the things we miss as retailers. We think, well, we don't have launches because we only sell the same thing over and over and over again. It's always for sale. Believe it or not, when you have your Black Friday sale, that should be a launch. You should be putting together a launch strategy for that. When you're coming out with your every season stuff, like, spring, summer, fall, whatever, that should be a launch. You should have a launch strategy around that. When you're doing, even when people pop up, oh, it's my birthday, I'm going to give everybody 20% off. That's a launch, y'all. Y'all should have a strategy for that. So if you are currently in business, or if you've even seen other people do this in business, and you just wake up, or you just decide like a week earlier, I'm going to send an email and then I'm going to have my birthday sale. And then when the birthday sale comes, we're talking about, so somebody asked what kind of boutique. We're talking about any kind of boutique. If you sell products, retail, physical products, you can be a boutique. And so we're talking about any kind of boutique here. But when you see people, throw up an email, it's my birthday, take this 20, 30, 40% off coupon. And then, what happens? They really wind up ruining their birthday because nobody takes the coupon, and they're worried because they didn't get sales and they're not enjoying their birthday. That's a whole nother story. But a lot of that is because they didn't do a really good launch strategy. They didn't have a really good plan in place to lead them up to actually making that sale. The other thing we do talk about in that module is getting you started with some of the stuff that we then talk about more of in the vault. So the things that everyone should have. Want my store to only sell rare sneakers. We can absolutely do that. You can create a store that only sells rare sneakers. Actually, that's probably a really good idea. I know that kid. There's a kid in Harlem who does sneakers. It's like it's not like a layaway thing, but he does like a sneaker pawn shop. Sneakers Pawn Shop is one of the guys. Chase, is that the guy's name? Okay, his name might be Chase. Actually, I have a store who has a husband who does sneakers too. So yeah, definitely make sure you're in my course. So I know apparently a lot about rare sneakers, right? So the other thing is like the basic things that everyone should have. Everyone should have email marketing. We're going to talk about email marketing. Everyone should have a launch plan. We just talked about that. We're going to have a launch plan. Everyone, even if they aren't running ads, should be doing certain things to prepare yourself to run ads in the event of one day you want to. We're going to talk about that. So we're going to talk about all the things that you need. Like I said, the 101 of marketing. We talk about, somebody asked about Facebook groups. Yes, I'm going to go over a little bit about Facebook groups. We talk about all the social media platforms and getting started on each one, and actually how to start. So if you're in my vault, I talk a lot about, vault is the 201. The 201 courses, and I have a little bit of 101 stuff in there too, but it's like the next level, what to do. I'm going to talk about it as if you've already started, because in the vault, most people have already started. In the blueprint, I talk about, okay, you've got 0 Facebook page. Here's what you should put into your Facebook page. Here's what you should be doing on your Facebook page to just start getting people and just start getting that, the 1, the 10, the 100. We're not talking from 1,000 yet. And some of that stuff, I'm going to give you guys like a pre-hint. Some of that stuff is just like outreach. Start talking to people. Start sending messages. We always want to sit up here on like the throne and not really talk to anybody. Like, oh, I'm a business and everybody's going to come up to me. Well, first you got to get up there. And a lot of ways that people get up there is start by making those personal connections. So like I said, that's my little nugget that will be part of the course, is you're going to have to make those personal connections. You're going to have to, reach out to the right people, talk to the people, and not just influencers. Straight up Joe Schmoes. Like, hey, I see that you like this thing. Like, even how I talk to you guys, even how I'm talking to you guys now. I know, if nothing else, you guys all like, being in retail and in boutique and stuff. So we're going to chit chat. We're going to talk. We're going to get to know each other. For those who are in my programs, even those who are in my big groups, if you've been there a while, you know that I get to know you guys. I get to know what's going on. I get to know the talk, because up here isn't going to help when people are down here not looking up. And no one's going to look up if they don't know you're there. So you really got to work on the whole how to build your business and build your business strategies. So in the blueprint, that's the phase 3. We talk about the marketing, the launch, and the getting started with that. We also go into the customer service. So I do talk a bit about customer service, some best customer service practices, what you should do once you start getting the orders. A lot of people mess that part up too. Not just shipping them out, but shipping them out, nice packaging, keeping people engaged, that kind of thing. And return policies, those kind of things we go over, and shipping. We go over that in the course as well. So those are our 3 phases. Does that make sense to you guys? Like, now that you're hearing them, are you thinking, yeah, that is what really builds a boutique? Are you thinking, oh, I might have missed something on some of those? Let me know. Kind of be honest with me. Let me know. It's just us here. Well, us and whoever joins in. And if you have questions, let me know the questions too. So speaking of questions, while you guys are throwing stuff in there, you guys will let me know how you feel about this. Speaking of questions, the other good thing about what I'm doing and how I'm doing this whole launch, which is the launch for me, this whole recording of the blueprint, is that once you join the group, so the actual live event is on the 18th, 19th, and 20th, but we're talking, we're prepping, we're getting ready right now. So once you join the group, I'm asking you questions, I'm inviting you to ask me questions, and they're helping to even shape some of the content that I have. I already have what's planned out, what was already in there, what planned out, what I wanted to put in, but I'm listening to people. Like we talked today about website platforms. And so now I'm going to look at doing maybe a Shopify bonus or something to add in Shopify, because it seems like a lot of people want Shopify and some people want Amazon too. So, I'm asking those questions. I'm shaping that. So don't wait until the last minute to get in, because there's a lot of kind of prep that we're doing and conversations that we're having and questions that you can get answered now that are happening in that group. That's the other reason why I'm doing this as a group, because I don't want it just to be a, hey, drop on, watch me talk for a couple of hours, take notes, walk away, and then you're still stuck. I want people to be really successful at this. I want people to get this done. I said last night, if you can come on, if you can grab this, if you can get it, you can get up your boutique, you absolutely deserve it for free. And I know there are people out there who are going to get on the grind and get it done. And I want you guys to do that. So if you've not already joined it, the onlineboutiquesource.com/blueprint live, make sure you hop in there now. Make sure you get in the group. Like, we've got 75 people. When I looked earlier, 75 people are already signed up. I think only about 40 are in the group. So I'm missing 30 people. If you're not in the group, get in the group. And I'll track them down with emails and stuff. Don't worry. So we'll have most of them in the group. But definitely it's worthwhile getting in the group now, hanging out with us leading up to the event, because there's so much stuff that's happening. So many nuggets I'm going to be dropping, bonus things I'm going to be dropping. I'm literally just putting stuff together. Mo is in there. Mo's my VA, my assistant. She's in there helping folks out. All right, so Mo is going to get that, Veronica. Mo is the one who's doing all the acceptances and approvals and stuff like that. But yeah, so make sure you're in the group. As you come in to get registered, so you get registered, you answer 4 little questions, and then you hop yourself into the group where we're chit-chatting and stuff. So do you guys have any other questions? Anything about starting a boutique, about the phases? We're going to be talking, like I said, we're going to be going live, so I'll be answering some questions on these different lives. We'll talk about, is boutiquing right for you? We'll talk about the time that it takes to do a boutique and get a boutique up and running. I religiously talk about the things that I see boutiques fail at, so I'll be continuing to talk about the things that I see folks failing at, and the stuff I see folks doing really, really well. try to do your best to usually work from 9 to 10 on Friday. Oh, so you might miss the Friday, but then the Saturday and Sunday or Saturday and Sunday morning. And there will be limited replays, again, only in the group. Everything's going to be in the group. So the recordings will be there for a very limited time, but in the group. So make sure you're in there. All right, so if you guys have any other questions, if you do, when I get off, just drop them in the comments. I will make sure that I answer them. And if nothing else, I'll talk to you guys tomorrow night. Have a good night. Bye.